Today we're going to take a look at this cheap Amazon ESP32 starter kit. So I paid $17 for this, and it comes with all kinds of cool stuff. If you're just getting into electronics, maker projects, or microcontrollers, this is a great starter kit for you. Inside this kit, you've got an ESP32 development board, a bunch of sensors, buttons, LEDs, display, and the parts you need to start building little projects. So in this video, we're going to do three things. First, we're going to look at everything that comes in the kit. Second, we'll talk about all the kinds of projects you can build with it. And third, we'll build a simple LED project step by step. So if you just bought one of these kits, you can follow along and get something working right away. The main brain of this kit is the board right here, the ESP32 development board. This little chip is incredibly powerful. It has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, multiple processors, and a bunch of input and output pins, so it can talk to sensors, lights, displays, and other electronics. Next, we have the breadboard. This lets you build circuits without soldering anything. You just plug the components into it and connect them with the jumper wires. Speaking of wires, it comes with a bunch of jumper wires, so you can connect everything. Now the sensors. The kit also includes several sensors. There's a motion sensor that detects when someone walks by, a temperature and humidity sensor that can measure the environment, and a light sensor that can detect brightness, and modules like this relay, which actually turns real electrical devices on and off. Now the smaller parts. You also get LEDs, resistors, push buttons, and a buzzer for making sound, and even a small LED display so you can show information on a screen. What can you build with it? With just these parts alone, you can build a ton of different projects. For example, you could build a motion alarm that detects when somebody walks by into a room and triggers a buzzer. Or you could make a temperature station that shows a room temperature and humidity on the display. Using real modules, you could even control lamps, appliances, and Wi-Fi through this ESP32. Another cool project would be an automatic night light that turns on LEDs when a room gets dark using a light sensor. Or you could build small gadgets with buttons and LEDs that react to users' input. The cool thing about the ESP32 is that once you understand the basics, you can combine all these sensors together and build much more advanced devices. Now here's a simple beginner project, the LED blink. The first thing most people don't do when they're learning a microcontroller is the classic LED blink project. This is basically the hello world of electronics. Okay, so step one, here's the parts needed. For this project, we're only going to need a few things from the kit. The ESP32 board, a breadboard, an LED, one of them, one resistor, and 2 jumper wires. Step 2, build the circuit. Place the ESP32 chip across the center gap of the breadboard, not on the one side. The center gap keeps the two sides from connecting together, so each pin works separately. If you put it all on one side, the pins would short together and the board wouldn't work. Next, we'll place the LED into the breadboard. LEDs have 2 legs. The longer leg is the positive side, and the shorter leg is the negative side. Next, we're going to talk about the resistor connectors. The resistor connects to the positive leg of the LED, which is the longer leg. From there, the resistor crosses the breadboard and crosses that row and connects into the circuit. The other leg of the LED goes to the negative side, which eventually runs down to the ground on the ESP32, which is right here. Alright, we're almost done. The last thing we need to do is take the other jumper wire and connect one end of that jumper wire to the same row as that resistor on the breadboard. Then take the other end of that wire and plug it into the D2 GIO pin on the ESP32. The resistor is there to limit the current, so the LED doesn't burn out when the ESP32 sends power to it. And that's it. Now the circuit is connected. It's the final countdown. I'm just kidding. It's time to write the code. You can find a simple code for this on the internet or use this code, but this will work simply in Arduino. Next, we're going to plug the ESP32 into the computer. Go ahead and open Arduino. Then you're going to want to go up to Tools and go down to the board to make sure that you got the correct ESP32 dev module. Also make sure that you have the right COM port selected. Mine's COM 7. And make sure you got your sketch and upload the sketch. Now this could take a few minutes. And there you have it. Once you start seeing the blinking LED, you should be good. I mean, it's that simple. It's a fun little project, a great way to start learning how this stuff works, and you can impress the girls with it, if I'm not gonna lie. I hope you learned as much as I did on this build, and always remember, this ESP32 starter kit project is for educational purposes only. We're just learning, experimenting, and having fun with some electronics.